I was diagnosed with a condition called ME, which is also known as chronic fatigue syndrome, which is also most recently known as long COVID. An ancient Chinese medicine tool, they use acupressure on the ear. In Chinese medicine, the ear is seen as like a microsystem of the body, so similarly to your feet with reflexology.
This is Catch-Ups in My Kitchen, the catch-up you need every week in order to look, feel and be the best version of yourself. Join me in my kitchen every week as I speak to a new guest about all things food, health and wellness. Whether it's a specialist in their field, an inspiring story, or just a big girly catch-up full of all the recommendations, tips and advice. In my kitchen, we talk about it all. Hey guys, and welcome back to another exciting episode of Catch-Ups in My Kitchen with me, Georgia Simmons, host of the podcast. In my kitchen this week, I am joined by Giselle Boxer, who is the co-founder of East Healing. East Healing is a brand which specializes in ear seeds and acupressure products. Now, I have to say I was a bit of a skeptic when it comes to ear seeding, but Giselle has just put some ear seeds in my ear and I feel like I'm going to be converted. In this episode, we hear Giselle's amazing story from being diagnosed with ME and told she could never have children, to being cured and a mum of two running an amazing and successful business. We also touch on her amazing story being a star on Dragon's Den, which she really did kind of blow away all the dragons. There's so much in this episode, from Chinese medicine to business tips and advice, so I really feel like you're going to love it. Without further ado, let's go and join Giselle in the kitchen. Giselle, welcome to my kitchen. How are you?
I'm great, thank you. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. So excited to talk to you about East Healing. I have so many questions. Before we do though, do you mind giving a quick elevator pitch, who you are and what you do?
Yes, so I'm Giselle Boxer. I'm the founder of East Healing, and we are bringing Chinese medicine tools to the modern Western world in a beautiful way.
I love it. They are beautiful. You sent me a lot of different products and I'm just like, oh my God, they are gorgeous. And I think Chinese medicine sometimes can not be gorgeous and has a reputation of being a bit kind of like woo-woo and earthy, and you've kind of rebranded it in a really aesthetic way, which I love. We have a quick fire round before we go into things. So, what would you say is your favourite restaurant in London?
Wow, what a question. I'm really into sushi. I have tried some of like the really good sushi restaurants, but probably Sticks and Sushi is my favourite, to be honest.
You actually can't go wrong. It
No,
just
you
ticks all the
can't.
boxes. I agree.
Yeah.
Okay, what is one wellness brand or product that you can't live without?
Ooh, another great question. I'm really into electrolytes at the moment. Ocean electrolytes.
Oh, I haven't heard of that brand.
Yeah, so they come in like a little pipette. I've actually got some in my bag. And some electrolytes are filled with like sugar and other bits and bobs, but these are literally just pure minerals. So
I love that. Okay, I'll check them out. What is your hangover meal?
hangover meal. Probably dishoom.
Really?
We were just talking about dishoom. I'm not hungover today.
Like a good kind of hearty,
yeah,
curry type style.
Yeah, or the breakfast at dishoom's great as well.
Oh, I've heard this. Again, I haven't tried their breakfast. Okay, favourite coffee shop?
Probably the one I've just been to, which is around the corner from here in Battersea, the Matcha Cafe. Can't remember the name. Kova, maybe?
Kova, yes. That's so nice.
Yeah, just proper good, authentic,
Really?
ceremonial grade matcha.
Yeah, it's really, really nice. They have some really cool things in there as well.
Yeah.
Okay, which food for you is a complete no-no?
Probably like ready meals, like ultra processed ready meals in the supermarket.
Yes. Also, how they are like microwaved makes me feel like, how are we still allowed to do this? Like plastic in a microwave.
Yeah. All
then
the
you,
chemicals in
then
it.
You eat it.
In, yeah.
Not sure about that.
No.
And what's your favourite dish to cook at home?
My husband would laugh at this one because I make it for him all the time and he actually doesn't particularly enjoy it very much. Like a prawn linguine, but with like high quality gluten-free pasta, yummy big prawns, tomatoes, chili, white wine.
Lovely. What's not to love? Why does he just not like that? I mean, that sounds lovely. Okay, I want to start with what acu-seeds are and how they work for someone who doesn't know.
Okay, so they are an ancient Chinese medicine tool. They use acupressure on the ear. So they've got, they're basically tiny beads that apply pressure onto different nerve endings. And the ones that we have are beautiful 24 karat gold or crystal. But the ancient style of ear seeds were an actual black seed with a sticker on it. And what they do is they stimulate nerve endings and they basically communicate with the brain and the nervous system to help with different symptoms and health issues.
It is amazing, like how that works. And am I right in saying different points in the ear relate to different parts of the body?
Yes.
So what are those points? Because it's crazy that one part of your body can communicate with the rest of your body. Like when I think about it, I'm like, this is kind of crazy.
Yeah, so I guess there's two ways to think about it. In Chinese medicine, the ear is seen as like a microsystem of the body. So similarly to your feet with reflexology, there's points on the feet that correspond to different parts of the body. It's the same with the ear. So it's even more peculiar. The ear is like an upside down fetus. So it, like the head of the baby would be like here. So there's points here that correspond to the head, which are great for headaches. And then the back goes up this point here and the feet are up here. So there's different points on the ear that correspond to different like body parts and organs. But then if you look at it from a Western medical perspective, you can actually stimulate the vagus nerve through points on the ear. And by stimulating those points, you're basically putting your nervous system into parasympathetic mode, which is a better mode for the nervous system to be in for digestion, sleep, reducing anxiety, all sorts of things.
Amazing. So who would need ear seeds? So someone listening is like, oh, okay, interesting. Who would use them? Can anyone use them? Are there certain things they're better for? Who's the kind of customer for this?
So everyone can use them apart from if you're pregnant. Well, you can actually use them during labour, but that's all I would recommend. Anyone over the age of 8, so children can use them as well. And probably most people use them for anxiety, stress, headaches, and then we have a lot of menopausal women as well who are using them and seeing good results.
Okay.
So yeah, anyone really who wants to support their health in a natural way that doesn't have any side effects, and it's just super easy to apply them. I literally have just applied some right now in the toilets of Battersea Power Station.
That is so good. It's so quick and easy. And how long do they last?
5 days and then you remove them.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so I want to hear a bit about your journey in a minute, but like, do you notice a massive difference when you're not wearing them? And my second question is, how often do you personally wear them now?
So I don't wear them consistently all the time. I wear them as and when I need them. So for example, I've just put in the stress protocol, which makes you feel more grounded, more centered, more relaxed. I use them every month, the day before my period, and I have a virtually pain-free period. I have energy, I'm not irritable. I love to use them before my period or on the first day of my period. And I'll use them for anxiety if I've got like a big speaking event or a really important work meeting. They're great for focus as well, if I want to just like get some deep focus work. So I wear them as and when really, but lots of our customers wear them consistently, and you just swap ears every 5 days. So you wear them 5 days in one ear and then you do a new set in the other ear and you can keep going like that. Okay.
And does it hurt or do you feel the pressure?
No, so there's no needles. They're literally just tiny beads that apply pressure. They may feel a little bit tender after a few hours, and that's literally just that there's an imbalance in the body. So usually the ones which hurt are Shenmen, which is the top one there where I've got the crystal, and which just shows that I'm not as grounded as I should be or want to be.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, and then 0.0, which is the one in the middle here, and that's connected to the vagus nerve. So that just shows that if that's tender, it's like you're living more in fight or flight than you are in rest and digest.
Oh God. I mean, so you sent me a load and I was like, I want you to do it for me because I was like, I'm going to get this wrong. But I bet you when I try it, I bet you that will hurt because I feel like I'm always like go, and like I bet I'm always in fight or flight and probably not in rest and digest. So we'll have to check it out and see. Can you share your journey then back to the beginning of where ESCs kind of came into your life?
Yeah, so when I was 26, I'm now 33, I was diagnosed with a condition called ME, which is also known as chronic fatigue syndrome, which is also most recently known as long COVID. And basically I was working in advertising, had a really busy life, was living in London, out all the time, socializing, exercising. And I just, over the space of a couple of weeks, my health just deteriorated massively. I had to move back home with my mom in Birmingham. I couldn't work. I was bedbound for a period of time, walking for 5 minutes. I was timing it on my phone. A 5-minute walk would just mean that I was in bed for like 2 days straight. I couldn't shower. If I did shower, I would have to lie down for like a day. I could barely cook my own meals.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, so it was completely debilitating. It's not the kind of illness you particularly want when you're 26 years old. And yeah, unfortunately, the Western medicine system don't have any support for that condition. So I think, as with anyone really, if you're ill, I think we grow up in the UK thinking that when you're ill, you go see your GP. That's just what you do. They'll do blood tests, they'll do a variety of tests on you. And I was passed around, I think I was on my 10th visit to a different GP. Eventually they said, you've probably got a condition called chronic fatigue, because we've kind of, they tested me for like celiac disease and diabetes and low iron and all of that stuff. They kind of ruled all of those things out. And then they were like, okay, well, your symptoms make it seem like you've got a condition called ME. And she said, you can go on a wait list to see a specialist at a hospital in London, but you'll be on that wait list for 6 months and we can't give you any support in between. So, yeah. And interestingly as well, all my blood tests that I had done, I had so many blood tests and everything came back as normal, even though there was obviously something wrong with me. Wow. Yeah, the whole GP thing was it's a full story in itself. But yeah, many GPs said, you're probably just depressed. You need antidepressants, or you need to exercise more.
But you couldn't walk, let alone exercise. Yeah. Oh my God.
Yeah, so it was awful. It was absolutely awful. And when I went to live with my mom in Birmingham, she's a Reiki master. She's really into psychics, crystal healing, nutrition, homeopathy, all of that kind of stuff. And she said, look, let's go and see some of my friends, colleagues, network, and see if they've got any answers for you. And thank God I did, because I sort of then started going down a path of alternative medicine and saw results.
I mean, that is amazing. That really is amazing. So what brings on ME, or can it just come at any point?
So again, there's still very little research into it. And I think that's why Western medicine can't really give you any solution. But many people get it from a virus. So, which is why COVID can bring it on. I had glandular fever a few years before I was diagnosed. And looking back, my health wasn't great for quite a few years. It wasn't just a sudden, was really healthy, then bedbound. I was experiencing lots of different symptoms over the span of a few years. Stress, chronic stress. So I was an overachiever. I wanted to be good at everything. I was going for really senior jobs in advertising and just put way too much pressure on myself and sort of burnt out that way. And then there's also quite a lot of research that's coming out now about the effect of trauma on people. So quite a lot of people who have ME have had a history of childhood trauma as well. So yeah, my dad passed away when I was 16. He was very unwell for most of my childhood, and I believe that it was literally all three of those things that was just a catalyst for my health just plummeting.
Wow.
So
That is really scary though. You must have been scared, like when you're back home with your mum, having these doctor's appointments, being told that basically nothing's going to help apart from exercise, which you couldn't even do.
Yeah.
It's really scary. So you then went with your mum, you tried lots of Chinese medicines. What did you try? And when did you start trying ear seeds, and where did you put them? And then when did you feel a difference?
So initially, Mom took me to see a nutritionist.
Hey guys, I quickly wanted to interrupt the episode to talk to you about an app that I have recently downloaded. It is called One Zone, and it is a curated discovery app where you can find all the best restaurants, bars, and cafes in London. You can find the restaurants, book it, and check out the menu all in one place. I have recently been to Canteen in Notting Hill, which I absolutely loved. And I also discovered the corner shop at 180, which I am equally obsessed with. Whether you're looking for the perfect spot for a girly catch-up or even a date night vibe, One Zone honestly have it all. I really recommend you download the app because it will completely change your lifestyle here in London. Click the link in the show notes to download the app, and when you do, let me know some of the places you discover. I know you're going to love it. This one simple thing has completely changed my life, and that is mouth taping. I have never been one to prioritize sleep, but in January I started mouth taping and my sleep and my productivity skyrocketed. The deep restorative sleep you get from mouth taping is completely insane. Nasal breathing is the way we should be breathing at night, and mouth taping really, really promotes this. I wanted to bring it to more people, so I started Healthy Habits to bring you a luxurious and aesthetic mouth tape that you can use every day and feel proud to use. If you're intrigued on the benefits or want to give mouth taping a go, this is your sign to do so. Click the link in the show notes and use the code CATCHUPS20 to try mouth tape today. I promise you will never sleep better, and just thank me later. Now let's get back to the episode.
I completely changed my diet. So removed gluten, dairy, sugar, alcohol, caffeine, literally everything. Actually, I became vegan. And once I'd done that, I then saw a functional medicine doctor who gave me a load of supplements. I went and had homeopathy as well. I was doing meditation, breath work, just all the wellness things. I just became absolutely obsessed. I was like, I need to do this and this. I need to remove toxins from the home. I need to
do it all.
Journal, do everything. So it wasn't until about 6 months after diagnosis that I saw a Chinese doctor. And my husband's friend, we'd met up one day and I was not in a good place. And she came over to my husband and said, does Giselle have ME? And he was like, because we hadn't really told anyone. And he was like, yeah. And she was like, yeah, I can tell, because she's just knackered and disconnected and just doesn't look well at all. And she said that her brother had ME. He was in a wheelchair and he went to see a Chinese doctor, and now he's out of a wheelchair and he's working full time and he's got a family. And something that day when she said that, I thought, okay, I'm going to have to try this, because the diet, the supplements, the homeopathy, the journaling, all of that, it felt like it only got me so far. And then I kind of plateaued. I still wasn't exercising. I was back at work, but on a part-time basis, and I wasn't socializing or anything. It would just be go to work, come home, and then just rest.
Yeah.
So went to this Chinese doctor who's based in Sheffield. She was in London for a period of time, and she could barely speak any English. And she just listed off symptoms, and I told her yes or no. She straight away knew that I had ME, basically, without me even telling her. Through various things like tongue analysis, pulse analysis. And she said, with her very limited English, I've seen many people like you and you will recover and I will make you better. And it was within that moment, I was just oh my God. When someone just gives you that hope and belief, it was as if it just almost got me halfway there to recovery, right? Without even getting the acupuncture and medicine. So She did acupuncture on me every 2 weeks, gave me herbal medicine, which were like these tiny black balls, and I had to take 65 a day.
Oh my gosh.
Of like different Chinese herbs. And to be completely honest with you, I didn't really know what was in them. But I had so much faith in her, and she had a clinic on Harley Street, so I knew that she was good. But she wasn't expensive, interestingly, at all, compared to some people, specialists that you go and see. And then she was popping on these things called ear seeds, and I was like, what is this? This is bizarre. They don't look great at all. They're like, it's like as if you've got loads of plasters on your ear. As I said before, they're tiny black balls, and they have like a dark tan plaster. So they were stuck all over my ear, and I was like, oh, I don't know if I can go out the house looking like this, because they don't look great. And yeah, they basically, if you use them after acupuncture, it like lengthens the treatment so that it lengthens it so that when you go back in a couple of weeks' time, you haven't got that like gap in between where you're not having needles put in. And yeah, I just started looking into them and was like, I wonder whether anyone is selling these like to a customer, or whether you can only get them at a Chinese doctor. And was searching, couldn't really find anyone who's doing it. There was a couple of brands in the US, and I thought, oh, okay, this could be something interesting. And yeah, that's where it began.
I mean, that's honestly crazy. That is crazy. And I want to go into the business side in a minute, but continuing on like the acupuncture side, I do feel like I've heard lots of stories where people are using acupuncture now to get the periods back. If they've been on contraception, haven't had periods, they're using acupuncture as something that's coming back again and again and again. And people are using that over, Western medicine. And could you use ear seeds for something such as getting your periods back? Would that also help with that?
So you can't promise anything, right? But ear seeds are a more gentle method of stimulation. So I would say acupuncture is more effective for many things. But the ear seeds are a great tool to just have in your handbag, and you can pop them on. And as I said before, they can help with painful periods. There are points that help with balancing hormones and regulating your cycle as well.
Right.
I had someone come up to me at a festival a couple of weeks ago who I'd met the year before at a festival, and I'd applied the seeds for fertility. She was going through IVF at the time, and she came up to me at this festival with her baby and was like, I came here last year and I had the seeds, and his baby Alf, I think his name was Alfie. And I was like, wow, that's cool. That's amazing.
No, that's so cool.
Yeah, and I'm not saying it was just the ear seeds, but yeah, it's just cool getting that like face-to-face feedback.
Yeah. I think it's one of those things where everyone wants this one thing, don't they? Like, can you tell me this one thing that's going to make me better? And I think there isn't one thing. I think what Chinese medicine really harnesses is like holistic.
Yeah.
And it's like the power of doing a bit of everything and making it part of your lifestyle. So if you're doing acupuncture, then you'd have the ear seeds, and it would all go hand in hand. And if you're changing your diet and using the ear seeds, then it's all one of those things that kind of help. And it's one of those things, again, which you can just apply yourself. And why not do that if it's going to help and benefit? And there's so much proof in it. It is amazing though. So I guess it was, so once you saw that lady, you were then starting to see a difference, and it was the one thing that was kind of really moving the needle for you.
Yeah. So diagnosed in January, saw her in June, and then by December, I had 6 months of treatment with her. By December, I was like, whoa, I'm in a completely different place to what I was in a year ago. Started running. Had never ran in my life before, but was running and crying whilst I was running, because I was like, I can run. Like, this is crazy. And it's mad because I bet you run, and I bet you don't, you're not, like, I'm sure you're grateful every day, right, of your health, but when you run, I bet you're not like, oh my God, I can run. And like, just feel that like gratitude.
Yeah.
Whereas because I had all of that taken away from me and could barely walk, once I was running, I was just like, whoa, this is crazy.
Yeah.
So yeah, started running and then fell pregnant So,
oh my gosh, it's amazing. I think you're right though. We always do take our health, like, we just take it for granted. And I know I did the marathon this year and I was really injured afterwards and I actually couldn't run for a while. And I love running. Like, I do it every single week, twice a week, love it. And not being able to run, I was like, this is awful. I was actually kind of miserable and everyone was like, what's wrong with you? And I was like, it's more than just the running. It was the whole mental space and like the headspace it created, and I loved it. Yeah. And then when I ran again, I was like, oh my gosh, like I'm so happy to be running again. Like, when I go to Mallorca sometimes in the summer and there's a run route that I do, which I love. And throughout, like, leading up to summer, I was like, I'm just not going to be able to do it. And I'm so gutted. Anyway, this summer, it got better and I was running and I was like, oh my gosh. And okay, this is a small scale example, but like, yeah, you take your health completely for granted. And it's amazing when you feel well again. You're like, oh my God, the feeling of feeling good is just so underestimated sometimes.
Yeah.
So
and now, like, I've got 2 young kids. One's 4.5, the other one's 18 months. I run a business. I've just moved house. Like, I'm doing all this stuff.
So did you always want to start your own business? Was that something that you always wanted to do? Or when the idea came to you, it was kind of just like, I feel really passionately about ear seeds. I've got a story and I know this works, so I'm going to give it a go.
Yeah, I was working in advertising before I got ill. And I wasn't particularly passionate about car. I think I was working with Volkswagen, Mercedes, like doing their social media, and just didn't really love it. Like, it wasn't lighting me up, didn't feel like it was my purpose, my passion. And yeah, when I basically, throughout my health journey, because I got so obsessed with health and wellness, when I got pregnant, I thought, when I got pregnant, it was during COVID. So like the world locked down, I was working from home, and I thought, if there's any time to like go off and do something on my own, it's now. So I had 9 months of mat leave and started the business when my daughter was 9 months old. So yeah, just built it throughout mat leave.
Wow, that is really, really amazing. And has education been the biggest kind of like barrier or the biggest thing you've had to work on in the business? Because like, you know, we'll get on to Dragon's Den, but like from what I saw on Dragon's Den, the first year was amazing. And has it been like, have you found you've got a community of people who know it, get it, love it, are already on board? And then you have another pocket of people who is more like you've got to educate to kind of keep them or get them in the first place. Is that kind of how you see it?
Yeah, so there's definitely a big education piece involved, right? Like, you've got some people who have tried acupuncture, fully like believe in it, agree with it. They don't need convincing. Then you've got the skeptics, who I love converting, because they quite often they're just like, oh, I'll just try it. I'll see what it's like. And they're like, oh, it probably won't do much, but I'll just try it anyway. And they're the ones who message me and who leave Trustpilot reviews, and they're like, oh my God, I was such a skeptic and I've had migraines for years and I've tried the seeds and I haven't had a migraine for 3 weeks and I'm just so grateful and so thankful. So it's amazing to hear from those people. But yeah, education's definitely a big thing for us. And it's great that I guess more and more people are using social media now to educate themselves on wellness. So social media has been a really big, like a blessing for us, really, to be able to reach so many people and to educate them on Chinese medicine and on the ear seeds as well.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I'd say I'm definitely in the skeptic category, not because I don't believe in it, but because I've not had acupuncture. And that's why I was like, I'm going to wait and I want you to apply them for me, because I don't even know. I'm kind of one of those that I'm like, I'm not overly anxious. I run a business, but like so maybe I get stressed sometimes. I'm definitely very intense in terms of like, I pack my days very full. I put a lot of pressure on myself. So probably that's what I'd need it for. But I'm like, oh, like how can something so small make such a massive difference? I guess that's my thing. But I'm also one of those where wellness means, like, I love trying different wellness practices and I try everything, which kind of what got me onto healthy habits and mouth taping in the first place. So I was like, I'm not a snorer, but I'm really keen to try this, so I'm going to try it. And so I'm always open to trying everything. But when I first read about ear seeds, I was like, but how? How can like some small little seeds make such a big difference? Because you're talking about changing your whole state of being in a way, your whole mood, the way you feel, the way you act, the way you think. I'm like, it just is your ear your new remote control? Like, I'm like, this is wild. But I'll probably be that person as well who'll message you later being like, oh my God, I'm already feeling this, that, and the other. And that must be so rewarding.
Yeah.
And you've also like released other products. So what other products have you gone into? Because I know you've got like the acupressure mat and other things like that, and the ring. So how have you kind of branched out the range?
So when I went on Dragon's Den, we were called AcuSeeds. And that was like very much pigeonholed to just ear seeds, because AcuSeeds is an abbreviation of acupressure ear seeds. And since Dragon's Den, we rebranded to East Healing. So that has now enabled us to release a wider range of products under the acupressure umbrella. And so in October last year, we launched an acupressure ring, which is really great for stress, relaxation, anxiety, focus. People use it as like a fidget ring as well. Then we released an acupressure comb, which is an absolute game changer in labour, particularly in childbirth. So you grab onto it and it redirects the pain. So it sends signals to the brain, basically, where the pain is like all focused on the hand rather than on the area of the contractions. It's also really good for like panic attacks or anxiety attacks. We've got an acupressure headband, which you wrap around your head. It looks a bit crazy, like some sort of weird sumo thing, but you just wear it at home, and it's got lots of tiny spikes in it, and it applies pressure on the head. So it's good for headaches, focus, and relaxation. Oh, we've got so many things. We've got the acupressure mat and pillow, which is really great for muscle tension, muscle recovery. I use it every single night before I go to bed. It's like the best tool for relaxation.
I've done that. I love it. I absolutely love that. It really feels like it's doing, I feel like it's doing something. And like, I love it's good pain, if that makes any sense. Yeah,
definitely. And then we've got an acupressure foot mat, which is similar with tiny spikes in, and you stand on it and it boosts your energy for the day. So yeah, we've got lots of different tools for different parts of the body. And then we've also got magnets, which are one of our best sellers actually after the ear seeds. And they are body magnets. So you can put them like on your wrist, on your hand here, on points on the back, on the shoulders. And it really focuses on pain. So it uses acupressure, which is a Chinese medicine practice, and magnet therapy, which I guess is more Western, combined to help with inflammation and muscle tension and pain. So yeah.
It is amazing. Like, the Chinese medicine world is crazy, because like all these things work and are incredible, but like you would never get recommended this by your doctor.
Oh, no.
Yeah, it's wild. So having kind of gone through your journey with doctors and then your journey with Chinese medicine, what is your relationship now like with going to the GP, for example? Because you must have a bittersweet type of relationship with that.
Yeah, so I don't really see a GP. When people, like back in the day, if I had like a virus or a stomach bug or something like that, I would always go to the GP and perhaps get antibiotics or something. My first port of call when I'm unwell is my Chinese doctor. I'll message her and say, I've got a sore throat, I'm coughing loads, I've got a stomach bug, blah, 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 whatever symptoms I'm experiencing. And she will say, oh, come pick up some herbs. So that's what I do. So I go over to her clinic in Sheffield and pick up herbs, and that's it really.
Yeah. Amazing.
But even with pregnancy, so interestingly, when I was pregnant in London, my hospital offered acupuncture, which was so good. And it was a free service.
Wow.
And they did it for like pelvic pain, bringing on labour, any back pain, headaches as well, like during pregnancy. But yeah, it's interesting. Like, there's not much crossover between Western and Chinese medicine. They're quite separate.
Yeah, there really isn't any crossover. It's crazy. Now, I want to touch on the Dragon's Den experience because that episode really was amazing. I've been a Dragon's Den fan for ages, and watching that, I was like, oh my God, they're all blown away here. I was like, you made it look like such a breeze. I was like, sign me up. Healthy Habits is coming in. I was like, this looks amazing. So how was the experience? And did you go in there nervous? Did you go in there with a certain thing in mind? And yeah, how was the overall experience?
It was quite a whirlwind. A researcher reached out to me in April, and by June I was going in to pitch in front of the Dragons. The paperwork, like the due diligence process, was insane. You had to provide them with so much information, so much financial information prior to going in. And then, yeah, basically they sort of, as I was going through the different rounds, you had to do like video pitches where you like pretended you were going into the Dragons and pitching on video. You had various like Zoom calls and stuff like that. And all the way through that process, they were like, you're through to the next round, but that's not to say you're going to pitch in front of the Dragons. So they kind of kept your expectations low. And so it was sort of, they had told me that their filming was between May and the end of June. And the weeks went by, didn't hear anything, was checking in. They were saying, we'll reach out in a few weeks if you're successful. And I went to Glastonbury Festival to work and do ear seeding there, which was at the end of June. And I thought, there's absolutely no way I'm going to get a call this week because it's the end of June. So how would they be able to fit me in? And lo and behold, I was in a field at Glastonbury with no signal. And luckily they had Wi-Fi at this pop-up hotel because it was this fancy glamping thing that I was working at. And I checked my emails and it said like, you're through, like you're going to go and pitch on Wednesday. And I was like, oh my God, this was Sunday, sorry.
Oh my God.
And I was like, okay, better get practicing. So each night I'd go back to my tent and practice my pitch in my tent. I'd sort of created the pitch before, obviously, through that process, but was memorizing it at Glastonbury and was driving home, memorizing it, saying over and over and over again. But I left Glasto a day early so I could go back, prepare, get my nails done, wash.
Yeah. All the things you need to do.
Get ready for it. So yeah, headed over to Manchester and they said arrive at midday. So I did. And they said you'll go into the den in a couple of hours time. 8 hours later.
Oh my God, you're kidding me.
At 8 p.m. I was the last entrepreneur to pitch. They put us in these tiny dressing rooms and we weren't allowed to come out of the dressing room to see if the other entrepreneurs who we'd met at the start of the day had been successful or not. But you could hear screaming and crying. So it was like, okay, they've got it, which was really, really exciting, but nerve-wracking. And yeah, sat in a dressing room for 8 hours, going over and over and over everything in my head.
Oh my God, I'd be going insane.
Yeah. And I sat and meditated for a long time because I thought this is the only thing that's going to keep me calm.
Yeah. God, well done you though, because I would be going. Also, you went in alone, like again, solo founder.
Yeah.
So scary, so scary. And so, how long had you been going before you went in? Was it a year? You'd only been going for a year pre.
Yes, the brand was running. I think it was about 18 months. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, and then you went in, and then you got Stephen.
Yeah.
Which was amazing. But I mean, you could have had all of them. They were all like, yes, sign me up, I'm down. And that's just, what an amazing experience. And I guess marketing as well, like incredible marketing. Did you feel like it really kind of skyrocketed the business or just another kind of step in the right direction? It wasn't like a huge...
No, it skyrocketed the business. It was insane. The exposure was incredible. I had no idea that it would do that to my brand. I was sitting with Stephen a few weeks before at his office in London, and he said, you should probably purchase around 10,000 units of stock. And I was like, 10,000 units of stock? Like, my orders prior to that had been 500 units, maybe 1,000. Like, things were going well, but we could never really like assess how much supply we needed because I use TikTok and Instagram a lot, and because my background's in social media, just overnight there'd be a viral video and that would be it. It would be sold out. So we could never actually like figure out how much stock to buy. And when he said, oh, you need to buy about 10,000 units, I was like, oh my God, okay. And basically wiped out the majority of the cash that I had in the hope that we would sell 10,000 units. We sold, I think I ended up buying 15,000 actually, because I was like, oh, we'll just buy 15,000, let's see what happens. And within 4 weeks, we sold 30,000 units of the product.
Oh my
which
God.
meant that like half of basically we had to go on pre-order. So I think within a week we sold out, and then we were on pre-order. And my suppliers, they take about 4 weeks for the product to be made, the packaging to be made, and for it to be shipped. So yeah, people were waiting like 4 weeks to receive the product. But yeah, I couldn't believe it. It was crazy.
That is insane. Honestly, as a small business owner sat here opposite, I'm like, oh my God, I would literally be, well, so ecstatic.
Yeah.
But also like, shit.
Yeah. Also petrified.
Yeah,
like,
so scared.
And the maddest thing was that I was the only person in the business still. So I had a warehouse who were fulfilling my orders, but that's it. So I was doing customer service, I was doing social media, I was doing email marketing, bookkeeping, which I'm not very good at, talking with an accountant. Like, I was literally doing everything.
Yeah.
And then that night when it went live, I was sat there and the next day actually, I was in the bath. I was 6 months pregnant at the time as well. So that made the experience even more crazy.
Yeah.
But I was sat in the bath, and Stephen voice noted to me and said, are you okay? And I said, not really. Like, I'm absolutely overwhelmed. I had thousands of DMs, thousands of customer service emails, obviously this huge influx of orders. I didn't know if the warehouse was going to be able to keep up with the demand of shipping them out. I had no idea. And I said, no, I'm not actually okay.
I'm really
not slept because of the adrenaline just like pumping through my body. And he said, what do you need? And I said, I need help with customer service because I need someone to take this off my plate. Like, I was working from 6 a.m. to 11 p.m. at 6 months pregnant, like with a toddler as well.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So I said, first I need help with customer service. And then I quickly realized that my warehouse weren't set up to fulfill all the orders. So I had to change warehouses like 2 weeks after the episode went live, which meant that like loads of people's orders were delayed because we were obviously like shipping the stock over to a different fulfillment center and briefing them on how to pack everything. And like, our product's quite complicated. It's not just putting a can of kombucha in the post. It's putting the seeds in the sleeve, putting it in the box, putting the guide in, closing the box, putting it in a bag. So it was like,
fine. So it didn't come to the fulfillment center done.
No.
They had to.
Yeah. And prior to the fulfillment center, I was doing all that at home. So it's just like, yeah. So then I had to change fulfillment centers. And then he put me in touch with an amazing like ad agency, email marketing agency. And I quickly outsourced a lot of the business because it was just way too much for me to handle.
Overwhelming. I mean, that's amazing. But doesn't it just show that like it works? And I do find this whole Chinese medicine world really fascinating and also exciting. I think as a wellness world, we are definitely going more towards the natural, the holistic, the kind of back to basics.
Yeah.
And it just shows that like you were so chronically ill that going back to basics and grounding, which I guess an element of what these ear seeds are, is an element of like kind of touching base with your body again, and like different nerve endings and pressure points and all of that. And that's what you need. I think we're so out of touch with the natural that all these things kind of get us back into a state of neutrality, if that's even
well,
a
it's
word.
Regulation, and it's back into a state of balance. So that's how Chinese medicine look at it. They treat like imbalances, and imbalances can cause illness and disease. So they're trying to get your body back into balance, and they're trying to regulate your nervous system as well. I know that's a big word right now, regulating your nervous system, but it's so important for good health and well-being.
Yeah, absolutely. So anyone listening who is like an early stage founder or even wants to start a business, any kind of advice from someone who, you know, you had an idea and thought, I'll give it a go, and it's kind of blown up and it's been a huge success, any kind of words of advice you'd give anyone?
The first thing would be, like, it doesn't have to be perfect. So I built my packaging in Canva, designed it myself. Looking back, it was awful, but it sold.
Yeah.
Every order I would place with the packaging manufacturer, it would come a different colour.
Oh no.
Because I didn't choose Pantone colours for the printing, which I now realise you need to do. And at the time that was like shocking. Like, oh my God, the world is ending. I've got 500 boxes which were a different shade of beige to what they were before. But it really doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. So like, don't wait until everything's perfect would be my first bit of advice. I think like consistency is key. I literally posted every single day on social media for 2 years, every single day. Like on TikTok, I posted nearly like 3 times a day.
Really?
Yeah. So it was insane. Like I was so consistent and didn't have a day off.
Yeah. Yeah, literally. Yeah. Well, that is true. Days off just don't happen.
Yeah. And it's hard work. It's really hard work. It's not glamorous at all.
No.
Even though it can look glamorous, it's really not very glamorous. So they would be my 2 pieces of advice. It doesn't have to be perfect, and to be consistent, and also to like remember like why you're doing it. So I started the brand because I'd gone through my own health issues and I wanted to help other people with their health. I think it's so important to like I was so entwined with my customer and their health journey. Like in the initial stages, I was getting DMs and, oh, I'm going through this, I'm going through that. And I'd voice note them and be like, I'm here for you. Like, what do you need? How can I support you? Like, here's some education about the products. And yeah, it was amazing to have that like relationship with the customer. And interestingly, so after Dragon's Den, I'll touch a bit on the sort of negative press I received, but the ME is a really tricky condition because Western medicine tell you there's no treatment and there's no solution and you'll never recover. And that is what I was told by a doctor, and I was told that by a fatigue specialist. And that's my story. I was told that I have this condition, you will never recover. I was told I would never have children. Which many people have said, oh, did they really say that? Yes, that was my story. I was told I would never have children. And I used alternative medicine and Chinese medicine to recover, and now I'm fully recovered. Like, I'm not in remission. I haven't relapsed. I have fully recovered from that illness. I can exercise, I can work, I've got children. And it's really sad because many people who are diagnosed with that illness, because they are told that, they then can't see a way out of it and they don't go down any other like alternative route. There's also, unfortunately, support groups and charities who also echo the fact that you can't recover. So the worst thing about after being on Dragon's Den, because I came out with my story that I'd recovered from ME using Chinese medicine and other practices, I received a lot of backlash from, 1, the charities who support people with ME, and 2, people who have ME, who have been told they'll never recover, who harassed me and were in my DMs, were in my inbox, saying, you weren't diagnosed with that. because if you were, you wouldn't have recovered. You were misdiagnosed. You're a fraud. You're a charlatan. You're selling snake oil. Like, you should be disgusted with yourself. Honestly, it was insane. Like,
it's terrible.
The level of like abuse, it was just horrific. And unfortunately, in these support groups, because I've been in them and I know how toxic they can be, I was in the comments and they were saying, comment on her latest post, tell her she's a fraud, tell her she's selling snake oil. We can't let the ME community believe that there's a way out, because there's not. And that's the saddest thing, really, is all of that hate that I received after Dragon's Den, because I've recovered from ME. It really made me like retract and go into my shell and never want to talk about ME ever again, because I was like, whoa, okay. If I'm telling people that I've recovered and I'm getting this sort of like hate, I'm not going to put myself like back in that situation. And it kind of, like, I stayed at home for a long period of time after, didn't want to leave the house. I had journalists turning up at my doorstep asking me for comments on different things. And
God, it's insane.
Yeah, the press basically just was spinning lie after lie after lie. They were emailing me saying, do you have anything to comment on this? And I couldn't even say, everything you're about to put out in the press is a complete lie. Why are you doing this? Because I just had to stay silent and not react to it. But coming back to the whole community thing, like, I really stepped away from the community after Dragon's Den, because I was like, I can't have a personal relationship with these people. I need to protect myself. I need to put boundaries up. Like, I can't be there for these people who have got chronic illness, because I'm like scared now about sharing my story. And yeah, it's taken me a long time to like process the trauma of that and go to therapy and realize, like, I did nothing wrong. I literally shared my story on a platform which was viewed by like millions of people. And as well as the hate that I got, I also had thousands and thousands of messages from people to say, you've given me hope, I've got ME, I think I can recover now. Like, I've got that belief, and that's part of it, right? Is the belief that you will recover. Yeah. So part of what I'm doing this year really is trying to get out there more and share my story again and give hope to those people that are ill, because back when I had that illness, the only thing that kept me going was people telling me that you will recover. I was looking at recovery stories online. I had that Chinese doctor who told me you will recover. When I was seeing alternative health practitioners, they were telling me I will recover, and that's like what kept me going. So yeah, that's a big focus for me now, is getting back in touch with my community, listening to those stories of recovery from people, listening to those testimonials of how much my products have helped them, and really like soak it in and continue to spread awareness as well.
It's so sad that like you're just trying to promote your own story, and there's no lies, it's just the truth, and like it's worked for you and you want to promote it to help work for others, and yet you, in doing that, got so much hate. It's crazy. And the fact these charities, who are supposed to be good people helping people who've got ME, are also promoting to slam someone for doing good for the community, it's awful.
Yeah,
it's so bad. And like I feel like with recovery, the mental state is half of it. Like, your mental well-being and your motivation and your positivity is probably half of getting there. Yeah. So if you're there providing a beacon of hope, like, that's a huge step in the right direction for people.
Yeah.
Like, they probably have had so many conversations like you had with your doctors, where no hope, try and exercise, like, good luck. Like, and that's just going to keep them in the downward spiral. Whereas like a positive story and like, oh my gosh, she did it, so I can too. Like, if it worked for you, there's no reason why it wouldn't work for someone else. Yeah. It's awful. Yeah. So that must have been so hard, because also that's your brand story, your story.
Yeah.
And everyone's basically telling you that you're lying.
Yeah, it wasn't just like an attack on my business, it was an attack on me as a person as well. And like, the Daily Mail were the main culprit. They were just spinning lie after lie. They said that I was in a relationship with Stephen Bartlett's brother.
What?
That he was a director in the business before I went on Dragon's Den. complete and utter lie. That Stephen has retracted his investment. He absolutely has not. He's still an investor in my business, owns 12.5%. That I was misdiagnosed, that I was just trying to sell a product to vulnerable people. And I'm really not. I'm literally like trying to share my story of the illness that I had and how I recovered. And I've never said that ear seeds will cure your ME. Never said that. But that's how it was perceived by a group of people. And then that's
but it was a contributor to curing yours, but you're not saying it's going to cure all. But also, like, you did loads of different things within the Chinese medicine world, which, as we said earlier, like, ear seeds is one of those things which probably, along with loads of other practices, makes a big difference.
Yeah.
But you had a whole lifestyle change.
Yeah. But
these ear seeds were a massive, massive reason for your recovery. It's so bad. It's so bad. And also, like, I do feel like in the UK, we just don't like celebrating people's success.
Yeah.
We just like to, like, dampen it.
Yeah.
Whereas in America, I feel like they're a massive, like, well done, this is amazing. Like, they love to pick people up. And in the UK, they just love to bring people down. And I hate that part. I think that's rubbish.
Yeah. My favourite ever Daily Mail article comment, and I really regret looking through those comments because it was just hideous, but it was kind of that, like, morbid fascination. You know, what are they saying about me? Like, I was in my DMs reading all these horrible things, all these emails, death threats, all sorts.
Oh my God.
My favourite comment was, she only got investment because she's beautiful.
Like, what? Like, that's just ridiculous.
Like,
and, like,
what a message, though.
What a message.
To spread. Like, it's just insane. Like, can a female not be successful? Can a female not be a record-breaking entrepreneur on Dragon's Den?
Yeah.
Like, this has got nothing to do with the way I look.
No, like, that's just insane. Absolutely insane. Like, I just feel like we just don't support. But there's a reason why there's not many female-founded businesses.
Yeah.
Because it's so difficult. Because people just don't take you seriously.
Yeah.
Make claims like that. It's just insane. And it is hard. And people think that it's like we can use it to our advantage. No, it's actually very difficult. Like, I know, like, Healthy Habits is the second business I've done. I've had the podcast now 4 years. I sometimes do not get taken seriously. I've had male founders sat here who I've spoken to. The conversation we've had before recording is so different to the conversation we have after, because they are like on their phone, not really taking anything seriously at all. And then post, they're like, oh, okay, actually, maybe I'll listen. And it's like, it's horrible. It is so horrible. And I bet you're right, actually. I bet if it was a male founder out there having the same story, same experience, probably would be a very different response.
Yeah, there's no way it would have got that
bad
backlash. Yeah.
So awful. So awful. But at the end of the day, the success of the brand speaks volumes. Yeah. So, but it's also lovely that you can now go back after you've like processed all of that and go back to the community, and like, because the community is like who you're there to help, or anyone going through anything is how you're there to help. But like, it's lovely that you can go back and kind of speak to them, hear their stories and journeys. But it also must be really hard not to get too close to those stories and like protect the business and yourself, because that must be really difficult as well.
Yeah, definitely.
It's challenging though. Yeah. Very, very challenging. We have a final question, which is, what is in your handbag? So I'd love to know what's in your bag.
Right, let's have a look. We have the productivity method.
Oh my gosh.
Daily planner.
I have mine here as well. I have the brown one today. I honestly go through so many of them.
That's lovely, that one.
It's divine.
That's really nice.
Yeah, no, love. I had that one before, but it got a bit dirty, so I went for brown.
So it's just epic. Like, I have so many things going on in my head. I have such a long to-do list, and to be able to like categorize everything and just tick everything off, it does wonders for my busy brain.
They've just released a new one. I saw it today. I think it's called the 8-minute method or something, and it's a small one for travel. Nice. Just in case you want to know.
I'm sure I'll get onto that.
I should be a promo girl for them.
I've obviously got my trusty ear seeds.
Yeah.
They come with me everywhere. These are the gold crystal ones, which I've got on right now, which are
so gorgeous.
A little bit blingy.
Yeah, we love that.
What else do I have? Oh, I've got an acupressure ring.
Which love that.
carry with me everywhere. I will like use it on the train when I'm traveling around. I'll use it on planes when I'm anxious. Even just like sat like working at a desk or in a coffee shop. I'll use that for focus.
That's really good.
What else have I got here? Oh, I've got my Instaglow face mist aloe.
Oh,
it just like refreshes.
Yeah, lovely.
Face, you know,
especially after commuting and stuff. We all need a bit of that.
Especially after being on the dirty tube, it's just like, okay, need to freshen up a bit.
Love that.
What else have I got? I recently went to South Korea.
Oh, their skincare is...
Yeah, and I had like a full skin analysis, and they told me exactly what I need to use, and I bought all of it.
I love that. I would the same.
Yeah, but
Marketer's
this
dream.
is Torrident lip essence. It's voted one of the best lip balms by Olive Young, which is the like department store there in Korea for skincare.
Wow. Okay, love that.
So that's a must.
Yeah.
What else? Oh, these are my electrolytes that I was talking about earlier.
Oh,
Ocean.
love. Okay. Can you buy them in the UK?
Yeah.
God, I've not even heard of them. I'm going to check them out. That looks great.
I think they're a fairly new brand, actually. I have... What else? Oh, I've got my crystal. It's a bit dirty now.
Oh, I love that.
So this is Moonstone. I'm very into spirituality and astrology and crystals and all that kind of stuff. This is great for emotional balance. It's good for, what else? Tapping into your feminine energy, which I'm trying to do a bit more of, because I feel like as a businesswoman, I'm very much my masculine.
Yeah.
And need to try and balance it out a bit.
Yeah.
I think it's also good for prosperity and abundance and success.
Love
so
that.
That's my crystal.
I love that.
Yeah.
It's so true. Trying to balance the male and the female energy is really hard, because like I get told a lot, like, be more aggressive. And then the time that I experience being aggressive, when that doesn't go to plan, I'm like, I want to go back to being more female because this isn't working for me. I'm like, it's really hard. Yeah. Because like you can be aggressive and someone could go, like that can kind of not always work in your favor. Yeah. And then you're like, oh God, it's really hard, I think, as a female to balance that. Yeah, for sure. I think I've been so much in my masculine for so many years, to the point where like I would never like release emotion and like cry about stuff. So since going to therapy and doing all these things, and I now cry loads, which I think is great. It's like, good to cry.
It's a good release.
It is a good release. I love that. Giselle, thank you so much for coming on and sharing your story. It's so inspiring. I'm going to get you, after we stop recording, to do my earpiece for me, because I'm so intrigued, but I'm like so skeptic, but intrigued. So I'll be the one who messaged you after, being like, I feel so changed. But thank you so much. It's such an inspiring story. You've created an amazing brand, which actually like is helping people. And I don't know if a lot of brands can really say that, like truly. So I think that's really cool. So thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you guys so much for listening, and I really hope you enjoyed the episode. Next week, I am joined by Annabelle Carmel, #1 best-selling author when it comes to children's cookbooks. She also has a range of amazing children's food products, so we're going to be going into the world of food amongst children, and I am so excited. So if you're keen to join me for that episode, make sure you click that follow and subscribe button, and I will see you back here next Tuesday. Thank you so much again, and see you next week.